Hello and welcome to the Yogi Collection. I am Yogi. I'm an avid collector of all things diecast, all things car related. You look at my table here and you can see that I just absolutely love collecting Porsche for one good example. We're approaching the end of the year, and what I wanted to do is put together a special video of every single Mattel, Hot Wheels, and Matchbox collectible that I was able to get my hands on for 2024. So that includes the Redline Club, that includes the Elite 64, that includes the Matchbox, any of those things that you had to mail in or you had to get online and join their service or whatever that is. I wanted to show you every single one from 2024, and they're sort of in the order that they were released. However, there were a couple of cars that came out that took about a year for them to finally get, ship it out and get it into our hands. So that's what this video is about. So I hope you enjoy it. If you're interested in any other type of collectibles, I also collect Lego. I've done a few videos on that. And I've also reviewed collectible cases so that you can see what other people are buying and make a decision on what type of display case that you may be interested in. All right, without further ado, welcome to the show. All right, the first one is from a short-lived TV series called Hot Wheels Ultimate Challenge. And it was basically an automotive contest between two contestants that were brought in to talk about one of their cars that they've had when they were growing up. And then they were inspired to create a Hot Wheels version of that car. And this here is the winner of the single season of the Ultimate Challenge. Season 2, they were not picked up for season 2, so it was canceled. But this car is just nuts. And it took a long time for me to get it. I think it took it took over a year for them to finally cast it and get it in my hands. But here it is. This is interesting. So it is a Nissan Skyline R33 model, and it is just totally decked out for rally, rally racing, if you will. It's totally fantasy, right? I mean, there is a legit car out there that looks like this, but I'm not sure if you want to take a Skyline out on the road. But anyway, this is it. The Ultimate Challenge Season 1 winner. And there won't be any Season 2, so this may be a pretty good collectible. So not a bad start for 2024. Okay, another one that took a long time for me to finally get it. Basically an old model Mini Cooper that was painted over by a famous artist named Mr. Brainwash. I don't know that guy, but this is it right here. It was an awesome box. When it arrived, I was really impressed on the packaging on this thing. Mr. Brainwash, there's his name right there. So yeah, I mean, it's a pretty cool box, but then, let's take a look at the car itself and see what the big deal is. And it says here, in his latest work, legendary artist Mr. Brainwash pays homage to the iconic Matchbox brand on its 70th anniversary. All right, so that's cool. So this is a 70th anniversary homage, and man, is this thing pretty. Let me get it up close so you can take a look at it. I've barely taken it out of the box because I just got it. But look at that. What does that say? Follow your dreams is what that says. So follow your dreams. Let's crack this guy open without cracking the case open. And here you go. Pretty cool. Lots of detail in this thing. The interior looks great. It is a right-hand drive, and I would have to say that this is probably a 1960s model of the Mini Cooper. But yeah, this is really neat. Look at the wheels on this thing. It's such an iconic car. And the paint job is just crazy pretty. Look at that. All right. So a nice little display box is included, which is really nice. It's a thick cardboard. It's like multi-layered. Austin Mini Cooper S, made in England. 70-year anniversary for Matchbox. Not bad. This is a lot better than the other Matchbox 70-year anniversary one that I got that I'm going to show you later. Okay, so this one's technically 2023, but I did not get it into my hands until 2024. But this is the 2023 selection car from the Hot Wheels Redline Club. So if you're not familiar with that, but basically that means is that I was notified, a bunch of other Redline Club members were notified to pick a chassis, to pick a body style, and then colors, etc., etc. And this is what we picked for 2023. And it is the 1972 Nissan Skyline HT 2000 GTR. So say that a few times. But 1972, look at that color. It is a Spectra purple. The livery here just shows RLC, select, 2. Very cool. I don't think the hood opens on this thing. I really like the wing on the back. The detail is just top notch on this, as you would expect from a Redline Club. I think I have a few of these. I may actually crack one of these open and play with it, because it is a really nice casting. Yeah, so 1972. Okay, next up, switching back to Matchbox, is the 2021 Ford Bronco. Not a lot of fans on this, but hey, let me tell you something. The reason why I get them is because of the diorama effect on the case, in the case itself, with the backdrop. When you put these on display, look at that. That looks really neat. But this Bronco here is, it's a 2-door version, and it's, again, a lot of people didn't like it. I think it's still available for sale on the Matchbox website. But, you know, I don't know. I like it. The livery's cool. But it's typical Matchbox quality, right? Which is always a step down from Hot Wheels when it comes to their higher end offerings. And in this case, this is about, I think it was a $20 purchase. So, you know, you would expect a little bit more detail, and they give it to you in the livery. But everything else is just plastic. Let me check here real quick. Well, those feel like rubber wheels. Maybe they are rubber wheels. Let me know in the comments below, guys, if you think these are rubber wheels in here. But here it is, the 2021 Ford Bronco. Nothing really special, but I do like the livery. I'm a sucker for livery. This is just a fantasy desert racing is what it says. A few markings there on the side, but all in all, a cool color. So sticking with Matchbox, the next one was kind of controversial. And reason being is because it was supposed to have the Gulf livery colors. But a lot of people said, and I have to agree, that the colors just didn't come out on this thing. But nevertheless, here it is, 2019 McLaren 720S Spider. And I took it out of the case already. It had a really cool base of a Gulf livery base. But I have this on display in my Gulf cubby, so I took it out so I could show it off. But the colors are a little off. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, I'll give you another example. Here is the Aston Martin Vantage in a Gulf livery. Note the color difference, and I'll bring up the McLaren right next to it. See the difference in color? The difference in color was pretty significant to where, you know, people question whether or not they had the right color to begin with. I don't know. I kind of like it. But again, it's a Matchbox level quality, right? So nothing too special. Plastic wheels. Yeah, I mean, I like it. I think it was $25. So take what you will from that. But here you go. McLaren 720S. For those of you familiar with Daniel Arsham, and for those of you who are not, he is an artist that is... I mean, I don't really know much about his art other than it's modern. He tends to paint not only things on walls, but also on cars. And in this case, he took his personal Porsche 911 930A and gave it his treatment. And a Daniel Arsham line from Hot Wheels has been out since 2023. I don't have the first 2 models that came out along with that Hot Wheels case, and I'm kicking myself in the butt because these things are worth a lot of money. This is a true collectible from Hot Wheels. Here it is, the Daniel Arsham 930A. Look at that presentation. Fantastic. These were not cheap either. I think these were like $50, $60. But look at that. Beautiful. One of my favorites. It's a shame that I keep it enclosed in the box, but the box is so cool itself that I'm like, I want to show the whole thing off. But look at the detail. I did a video on this one, and basically the inspiration is from Apple Computer. If you can't really see that, then you're blind, because I can see it. I mean, Apple Computer is always white with those types of colors. So that was his inspiration from the 1980s, and it came out like this. Unbelievable collectible. So with every Arsham, I believe he had an agreement with Hot Wheels that he had to also art up one of the fantasy cars. And the one that came out with this one at the same time was the Twin Mill. And here it is, the Twin Mill, but an eroded Twin Mill. That's sort of his niche, right? That's sort of his thing, is he erodes pieces of physical material like a car and gives it a fancy treatment. So let's take a look at this. Take what you will from it. Art is art. Art is subjective. Here it is. It has a real smooth finish to it too. It's pretty neat. The wheels are rubber. Again, another awesome collectible, something to talk about. And if you're into collectibles, man, and not just selling this stuff, then you really will dig these kinds of videos. So be sure to subscribe and like my channel. I'm trying to grow it. I've been a little quiet lately on the channel, simply because I'm trying to pivot a little bit away from just Hot Wheels and 164, because I don't find a lot of true collectibles in that niche. And what I'm finding more collectibles in something like a pop race, for example, or Formula One, things like that. So I'm going to do at least a semi-annual review of Hot Wheels and Matchbox, and here's my annual review. All right, so the Arshams, eroded Twin Mill, and Porsche 930A. And those won't be the only Arshams that I'm going to be showing you for 2024. So in 2024, Porsche was celebrating its 75th anniversary of existence, and they teamed up with Hot Wheels and Mobil 1 to create this fantasy car, but in real life. And it was basically a 944 converted for rally racing. And they upgraded everything, all the components inside, put LED lights, which of course they didn't translate into the actual model. But here it is in its form, in a Hot Wheels form. The card itself, man, is killer. So when this came, I completely forgot, because this thing took over a year to be put into casting. And, you know, take what you will from it. It's kind of wacky, the concept, but the execution of the model itself is pretty amazing, man. And the card, oh my God, look at that thing. I'm being extra careful with this thing. If 2023 was the year of Porsche for Hot Wheels, then 2024 is the year for JDM. And here's the next one on the lineup. This one's really hot. Another Skyline 1972 HT 2000 GTR. Just like the other one. And I'll bring that one up here in a second. So once Hot Wheels locks onto the style, they're going to milk it for all it's worth. But I mean, when they execute it like this, how can you blame them? So if you forgot, just a few minutes ago, I showed you another one that did not have the ad van. Here it is. Look familiar? It's even the same illustration, but with the different livery on it. So they milked it twice. 2023 selection car, and then in about February, March, they released this one here. Okay, sticking with JDM, we have something that was also a real-life car, now made into a Hot Wheels to immortalize it forever. And it is the Panda Bunny Rocket Datsun 280ZX with a wide body kit. This car is epic. And what's weird is nobody's buying it. It's still available for sale. It's 20 bucks. I think they're making a ton of them, to be honest. But basically, this thing was featured at SEMA 2023 and made into a Hot Wheels car for the March Select event for 2024 early on that came out, that also had stuff like this 8-ball, and some other Select. This was their #1 car that they released. And I have it out on display as well as in this card because anything custom like this, Rocket Bunny, Liberty Walk, JDM specific, branded, check, checks all the boxes. This is a legit collectible, and I'm willing to fight you over it in the comments. I mean, if I had to rate Hot Wheels releases for 2024 after they introduced the Redline Club Overdrive, and that's $100 a year, but basically it guarantees you a spot to get every single release. And believe me, some of these cars, you needed that spot because they sold out instantly. The next one I'm showing you is not one of those examples, but when I do have one, like one of the Skylines, I'll be sure to let you know. All right, so this one here is yet another Volkswagen Beetle, and it's the Cowabunga. It's kind of overdone, if you ask me, but what's not to love about the color? And it came with this RLC Club 2024 patch, which is also a nice collectible. The color's great. There was a blue bug. Let me go get it. There was a blue Cowabunga as well, and I think there's also a pink one. Now, correction, there's actually a green one like this one, a blue one, which I don't have, and then my personal favorite that came out in 2023 is this one. And this one here, you know, come on, it's got a surfboard, it's got a toolbox, it's got an exposed engine. It's just glorious compared to this one. I mean, it's fine. It's a checkbox, if you ask me, because it has a collectible patch, which makes this more desirable just because of that reason. But yeah, they're basically the same, even the same wheels. But I love the livery on this one. Look at that pink and white mix. Anyway, we're talking about this one, the Cowabunga for 2024. This next one is the biggest news fest for the entire year. Not a big fan of this one. It is the Mercedes-Benz AMG 63 4x4 G-Wagon. Yeah, that's about all I got to say about it. I mean, it's a G-Wagon, big deal, right? The color is pretty cool. I'm not gonna knock that. The Spectre blue color is interesting. The tires are nice, but overall, not much to see here, folks. Move on. This next one is from the club exclusive Redline Club, and this is for Club Pink. I believe there's a name for that. Pink Stang, and here it is. It is a 1993 Ford Mustang Cobra R in this beautiful pink Spectra flame color. Oh my God. I'm not a Fox body guy. I can certainly understand why people like these cars. They're legendary for good or for bad. It's a licensed product. And this card here is just in mint condition, except for that little corner right there. But I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not one to judge a car by its card, if you will. It's all about what's in there, right? Look at that thing. Some people get just too uptight about the condition of the card, and those people need to get a life. All right. So there you go. I think I have another pink one coming up too. I know last year was a pickup truck. Not to be left out, hot rodding and hot rod cars are a big part of the Hot Wheels culture. And here you go, the 1968 Custom Plymouth Barracuda in this Spectre Flame teal color. Holy moly. I don't get a chance to look at these all too often. Once I get them, I'm like, oh, great, neat. But since I don't take them out of the cards like I do sometimes with these cars here, it's not as visceral for me. I don't really get the same connection until I actually take it out and hold it in my hands and talk to my viewers about it, to where I really appreciate the work that was put into this car. The open engine looks like an LS engine in there. Wide tires, narrow tires, painted bottom. This thing's a slick MF car right here. 1968 Custom Plymouth Barracuda. All right, back to Germany. We have another fantasy car, Porsche 928 Safari. Same type of treatment. I don't know. Safari seems to be a trend for 2024. Everybody's doing off-roading. And this car is no exception. Didn't get a lot of fanfare. I still think you can find this on online for sale. But it's Porsche, dude. So If you're a Porsche guy, you got to get it. Look at the livery. Legit livery. Michelin is on here. Mobil 1. All of them. It is pretty cool. I like it. Most people didn't. Okay. So in order to give you the full effect of unboxing, I think it's important that I at least go over the external boxing. How do these sometimes arrive? Well, if they're in a card, they're in a cardboard box, but sometimes they're in a plastic display case. And in this case, this one's pretty controversial for me anyway, because it's a lot like that Skyline. This was the first iteration that they made, and it is the Pagani Huayra 2021. And the funny thing is that this box that I have it in is not the one that came with this car. However, the box is identical for the one that was released around the March-April timeframe. So I figured, well, I'll just use this box to demo the unboxing experience of these because it's the same exact box. Come on, Hot Wheels, step it up. I mean, I love this thing. The Italian colors. It is slick, man. And then here it is. The first iteration of the Pagani Huayra. Woo-wee. Look at that beautiful car. At the time, this was my favorite release for 2024 by Hot Wheels. I still think it is still. If I don't break this case, I can show you. Ooh, it really wants to break. Come on, man. There. Look at that color. And if I do it right, I believe, yeah, this comes off so you can see the engine. I don't remember the specs on this engine, but if I had to guess, it's certainly a V12. Yeah, it's a V12. I see six headers on one side. V12. Look at that. Very nice. Italian colors on the back. Quad exhaust on the tail. Every detail was captured. Boop. All right, here we are again. Back to JDM and back to the Nissan Skyline. I'm going to look back in history, and I'm pretty sure Nissan and Datsun and all of them made different cars other than just Skylines and 510s. Well, what do I know? Well, here it is in purple. I believe the hood opens. Yeah, it looks like the hood actuates. But this thing is worth so much money that I don't even want to open it out of the case itself, because then people are going to criticize the little scratches on the card you see here, because people go nuts over these JDMs. I mean, the interior looks fantastic. I can see the seatbelts are painted. Tons of detail on the tail. I mean, it's a good-looking car. Remember when I told you that safari and rally racing was sort of a thing? Like, here's another Porsche here I'm not going to show as part of 2024, but this is their larger scale pullback line, another safari. Well, not to be outdone, Daniel Arsham certainly did the same thing with the eroded safari. And here it is. This is another Porsche 930, I believe. Yeah, 930. And here it is. Oh, in a safari. I remember looking at this the first time. It's art, man. I'm just going to say it's awesome because that's what art people say. But I honestly like it. I love the on the whale tail there, you can see that's eroded away. On the hood itself, you can see kind of rocks and stuff that obviously you wouldn't see on the car in real life, but certainly a collectible for somebody. For me. We're going to stick with Daniel Arsham here because, like I said, he always drops two. At the time, they were always dropping two. So here's the other one, the eroded Mustang. This one here was pretty cool looking. That never gets old, by the way. And I like it because it's in black. But here you go. This looks like a Shelby, or at least a fastback. Not much more to say. One of the more popular ones that came out in 2024 was the Optimus Prime in this really awesome display. And it actually transforms, guys. I mean, if you're a Transformer fan, you're going to go nuts for this one. And do believe it is sold out. But yeah, really easy to transform, as you can see. The hands come out if you want, and then it goes right into truck form to move out, right? Very cool. And then switch it back. You get the feet out, you pull out, and then in. Flex the muscles. And then the head. Transform. I mean, come on. Look at that. Beautiful. The card itself is also definitely awesome. It has a bunch of details on the back as well, which you can see here. And then it comes with his famous proton blaster, or whatever the heck it's called. Very nice setup here. When it came out, I believe it was 40. Guys, keep me honest in the comments below. But I believe that's what the price ended up being. Hot Wheels was also re-releasing some earlier cars that some buyers may have missed because they sold out so quick. And one of the big ones is Ryu Asada, who was a very, very popular Hot Wheels designer who passed away from a disease. And he had a car called the 1994 NSX. And this one here he had customized. And he was immortalized by Hot Wheels in this Redline Club display. And this is a true beautiful car, and it has something really special that I want to show you. And for the guys who know what I'm about to show, don't spoil it for everybody else. Let's see. I may have to flip a switch underneath. Let me see. The batteries are dead. All right, the lights light up. These two flicker. The headlights turn on. This is a straight up legit little thing, and it has a USB cable in it so you can charge it up. It is, you can see the engine back there. Yeah, I really love it. It's also an homage to the Suzuka circuit. So really good collectible. If it's still available, guys, you should really get it. Matchbox has a tribute to Motor Trend's 75 years of publishing, and it is the 1949 Curtis sports car, the very first car on the cover of the very first magazine. And Curtis is a short-lived automobile manufacturer. And this is it right here. And I'm going to be honest with you, it was a little disappointing for what they charged for this thing, because this is not a unique casting. I have one from their main lines, and I did a video on it, and it compared the two. There was very little difference between the main line and this homage car here. But again, it's a checkbox, so you kind of, if you are a true collector, you need to collect it, but I don't know. It's all right. Next up from Hot Wheels is this Bugatti Type 59, and this car came out in 1933, and it is an icon in the sense that it introduced a few things, but it was one of the last pre-war designs by Mr. Bugatti himself. And this thing is a Grand Prix champion race car. It has a 16-valve dual overhead cam straight 8, 2.8 liter, and it only produced 250 horsepower, but in 1933, 250 horsepower might as well be 250,000 horsepower. Detail's great. The wheels are unique, and the interior design is fantastic. This car is a true collectible. This car debuted in 1933 at the Monaco Grand Prix and saw a lot of action in the 1930s. So, nice historical car there. Now, this next one is from the Hot Wheels Elite 64 Mod Shop, and this is the 2017 Toyota Tacoma. It's called the Mod Shop because a lot of these components here that you see are interchangeable. So if you wanted to customize this truck with a different bumper, a different kit, no snorkel or whatever, this is the kit to do it with. It had a few different choices, and I went with the most off-road version with the gas tanks and the tires and the fire extinguisher and all of that. So this is it right here. It's a pretty cool truck. The paint job is really nice, but other than that, I mean, it's okay. It was $30. A little on the pricey side, but if you like modifying your trucks and you know, cheaply, you can do it in this form right here. Okay, like I said, JDM, 2024 is the year of JDM. So here it is, the 1993 Mazda RX-7 R1 with an open hood and this beautiful Spectraflame red. Tons of detail. RX-7 was the last of the good rotary engine Mazdas. RX-8 was Frankenstein's monster. But this car is really nice, beautiful tires, great collectible. Not too pleased about the condition of the card, but I should just be happy that I was able to get one because these are pretty hard to get. Going back to Matchbox is the Mercedes-Benz SLR McLaren. And again, another awesome display case with a printed floor. This is one of Matchbox's nicer models. Is it Hot Wheels Redline Club or Hot Wheels Premium Line? No. But nobody's perfect. But they're not doing an SLR like this. Look at this. The SLR is sweet. This is a partnership between AMG, Mercedes, and McLaren. And this beauty here, if you can get a new one, or if you can get a real life-size version of this, you're looking at about $1 million, I think, to get one of these. Beautiful car. Not to be outdone by their fancy packaging, Matchbox got in on the action with their 1993 BMW M3. And it is almost identical to a Hot Wheels box. In fact, here's one right here for the one I'm going to show you later. German colors, I love it. And oh, look at this thing. Come on, this is beautiful. Come on, Matchbox, you need to do this all the time. This is fantastic. The engine's on prominent display in there. The colored box, I have this on display just like this. Look at the tail lights. Very nice. You want to see a unicorn? Here you go. The 1995 Honda Integra Type R. This is an example of how the Overdrive membership guarantees you one of these. Otherwise, you're probably not going to get it unless you get it secondhand. Look at the wheels, they're so tiny. But the colors on this thing. I'm not going to lie. I'm not much into the JDM scene, but I can certainly respect the designs of these cars and the passion of the owners. Because there are faster cars out there now. There are more high-tech cars out there, but these just have an insatiable following that just keeps them coming for more, which is why Honda and Hot Wheels partner all the time to make these castings so that people can satisfy that desire for JDM cars. And here it is. I only got one. I tried to get two. Didn't happen. Okay, going back to Matchbox again. Speaking of JDM, not to be outdone, is the 1970 Datsun 510 Rally. Look at that. How did I know it was going to be a rally car? Seems to be the trend, huh? Look at this, man. Let's get this dusty case off. Look at the terrain. That is so cool. This livery is just killer. One of my favorite ones all for this year. Matchbox really took their time to paint this thing up, and the colors and the bright gold bronze finish. This one's a winner. Look at this. Beautiful. Now this is where I think Hot Wheels really shined this year, is with their lowriders and custom cars and trucks. And this one's no exception. The Nissan 1986 720 King Cab. You're like, okay, it's a truck. What's the big deal? If you haven't seen this one, get a load of this. Kick-ass purple. Yeah. It kind of got tossed around because I already have it on display. But let me go ahead and get it out and set it up for you. Check it out. Apologize about the fingerprinting. Look at that beautiful color, man. So you're like, okay, what's so special about this thing? That's because it's twisted. Oh, look at that. Holy crap. Can you see the detail in there? What are they playing? Looks like Masters of the Universe or Marvel or something. Imagine this thing rolling up or rolling down your street, bopping around like this. Oh, the wheels, the detail, the color. Thank you, Hot Wheels. This is one of my favorite this year. Now, I said that other one was my favorite, but this one here literally just arrived today. It is December 15th, 2024. Ordered this long time ago. So long ago, in fact, I forgot that I was even coming. Here it is. The Lincoln Continental for 1961. And if you've seen the show Entourage on HBO Max, then you'll know what this is and what's so special about it. But before I spoil it with my words, I'll just show you. And again, I just got it. And yes, I'm keeping it in that display. Look at that. Yeah, those doors, suicide doors is what they call those. They open in from the center. They open up from the center. But that is just jet black perfection. It's just shiny. It says Continental on the side fender. The wheels are set right. The interior, I'm not even going to open this box. I'm just going to leave it as is. Look at those doors. Kick-ass Hot Wheels. Kick-ass. Worth the wait. Look at the grill on the tail. Oh, man. I love it. What I don't love is the size of this thing. It's like a Matchbox display, right? And not to be outdone by just the case, the interior. Look at that. Can you see? And then it opens up like that so that you can get the car in and back on display. That's pretty epic. 1961 Lincoln Continental. If you've ordered one, you should check your mailbox because I think it's probably here because it just came here for me. Beautiful. And when this truck came out, I was 21 years old and I had no idea why people were salivating over this truck. But when I finally got the opportunity to sit in one and a guy just opened it up and let me see why, now I understand why this car here, the 1992 GMC Typhoon, is such a crazy collectible in real life as well. I've seen one recently in real life and it is in mint condition. And it is a beautiful, beautiful vehicle. It had a way overpowered turbocharged V6 engine in it. And it was strictly meant for show, not for, and go, not for towing. That's for sure. Although I've seen tow packages on these Typhoons. But this is it right here. And again, getting burned by the Hot Wheels packaging, sometimes these cards just get a little messed up. But I'm going to tell you something, guys. If we ever trade in real life, I'm not going to nitpick you over the damaged card. Because in my opinion, it's not damaged. And unless it's, blatant. This is strictly stuff that you should expect to get from shipment. Now, I really don't know what to make of this one. This is before my time. I was born in 1970, and this car came out in 1970. And it is the 1970 Boss 302 Mustang. The color is atomic urine. How about that? Atomic piss. Look at that. Not sure what to make of it. It's all right. I mean, it's cool looking. It's certainly going to sell if I ever sold it. It's certainly a conversation starter if you put it on display. I don't think this is the first time they've used this casting, but I think it's the first time they've used that color. And maybe they should reconsider not doing that in the future. Mustang Boss. Okay, back to JDM. This one I'm not going to complain about. The 1971 Datsun 510 with the BRE livery. And this is a true race car. And the box is killer. I mean, the whole presentation is really nice. I'm not gonna fault them for that. You get all the details you want on this thing. Labeling's great. And then when you see the car, holy moly. Yeah, now you know why people pay $35 to get these now. Because you can turn around and probably, if you sold these, get double, at least. Look at the detail of that inline engine. And the Ghost livery. Very nice. Let's take it out. Let's close the hood. It's got full roll bars, black leather interior, or black whatever interior, and an operating hood. Woof, that's nice. I don't think there's any genre that was left out of the Hot Wheels lineup this year. This one in particular is one of my favorites because of my Latino heritage and the fact that Latinos tend to do some pretty crazy things with their cars. And this is a prime example. The 1964 Chevrolet Impala. Okay, great. It's an Impala. But I did say lowrider, didn't I? So this thing better be some lowriding, right? Look at the box, man. Look at those pinstripings. Dude, get your hands on one of these. Oh my God. I'm pretty emotional here because this is some fabulous freaking work by Hot Wheels. So let me get my greasy fingers in here. There we go. Take it out. Oh, I'm not going to say anything for a minute. Just appreciate what you're seeing here. And it's dusty. So let me fix that. Now look at that. Woo-wee. Interior, everything's painted. Check out the speakers in the back. And then, time to low ride. These wheels come out. And not only do they come out, they turn a little bit to give you that little twist. And it also came with a mirror, which I have on display with the other lowrider that I'm going to show you here in a minute. But this thing dances, man. Look at that. The colors, the beauty, the effort, the paint job. Check, check, check. And when I put this thing on display, I display it just like this because it's such a beautiful display. Look at that. All right, I'm going to leave that right here. This is another larger scale Hot Wheel, by the way. We're not talking about these, but this is the Mercedes AMG, and it is a Hot Wheel. Look at the gigantic size of this thing compared to the 1/64 scale. Okay, so I think Hot Wheels got the message when it came to the BMW, and they were like, hold my beer. And they came out with this one. The 1990 BMW 318i Touring Wagon. And I'm a sucker for a wagon, man. This is number 8. Hoo-wee! And the hood does come off. I'm not taking it out of the car because I only got one. And I can guarantee you these things are sold out. Manual, inline 4, not a ton of power, but it was very light. It was 2,600 pounds. And it's a freaking wagon. Yeah. All right, the other end of the bookend in the lowrider partnership is the Monte Carlo 1975. And again, look at the box on this thing. I mean, here's the white outside box, the matching colors. I went ahead and took it out. It's got the huge 75 for the year this car was made. Here it is. Look at that killer color, man. These are true collectibles. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but on the trunk there, it's a heart. See that heart? More speakers. Look at the interior. Pinstriping on the dashboard. Matching colors. Center inserts on the seats. And yes, it is a lowrider. Look at these wheels, man. And not only do they go straight up like that, they twist even more than the other one. And here's the mirror that I mentioned. We'll put that right here so you can see the mirror. And I'll probably do some B-roll footage on this. But there you go. Look at that thing. That's extreme, man. That is extreme. Incredible. All right. Let's here on the side. Well, believe it or not, we're actually getting close to the end. So we're sitting here at about probably May or June time frame. And now we're back to the pink series. Like I said, I thought I had a couple of them, and this one is to go with the Mustang, the 1969 Chevy Camaro SS in this beautiful pink color. If I had to guess, I'm pretty sure the pink is for breast cancer awareness, which is October, but I'm not 100% sure. Let me know what you guys think. Club exclusive. You want to see another unicorn? 1997 Toyota Supra Inspector Flame Blue. Painted bottom, gold wheels, opening hood, almost near perfect card. Very nice. Oh, man. The Supra alone is pretty popular, but this guy here sold out, I think, instantly. Like, literally, you guys can tell me in the comments below, like, literally, this guy, when it went on sale, it literally went sold out. Boom. Instantly. And we all know why that is, right? And that's one of the reasons why I don't cover Hot Wheels all that much anymore, because the collectors are far and in between. But this is it right here. Beautiful. The collector one here in this case, because this will stay in my collection until I'm dead. Now, this one isn't exactly a lowrider, but it certainly falls into the custom car category and a super, super popular car. The Chevrolet C10. Every time I take this guy out of the case, I'm just like whistling. That blue. Few little defects in the paint that I think a wet sand may get out. But all in all, it looks great. And look how low it sits. But let's say you want to be more conservative or you're driving down Houston roads. Then let's just do this. Boom. Truck mode. So it sits really high. You see that? It says real high or real low. And that's the way I like it, like that. Low, baby. Woo! Now this next one's pretty special to me, not because it's unique, because I believe this is the third time they've made it, but the Porsche 959, and this time in the Spectra blue, dark blue. It came out in red and I believe another color. In fact, let me go get them because I collected all three of these. So let me pull that in. Yeah, here they are. So same wheels. Here it is in red, which is my favorite. And then in black. Different wheels. This is the one that I had to get my hands on. And I found it. And I paid 35 bucks for it, which is a steal if you ask me. Now, this next one is not a 2024 release, but it is a 2024 re-release. And, I mean, it was popular apparently because they brought it back. And it is the Harley Quinn Volkswagen. Yeah, let's clap because this thing is super ugly. It looks like somebody just got fenders and parts from all different colored rabbits or golfs or whatever and slapped it into one car. But this is the Harley Quinn. Take it for what it's worth. I think it's kind of cute. All right, back to Matchbox. And when I say Matchbox, they usually give us big displays. And yep, here it is. The 1979 Chevy Blazer. Look at that background. Looks like a dealership. And the color is killer, man. Kind of reminds me of the color from the guy's truck in Stranger Things. Thank you. Stranger Things. I've already opened it. The doors open, close. That's about it. It's really cool, though. I love the tires. It is a classic. Seems like this truck comes out once a year. Last year, it was in a Spectra Flame green with the truck bed moving back and forth. And then this year, it's this beautiful thing. The 1964 Dodge Power Wagon. Whoo! This is my favorite Power Wagon now. The hood opens up, which is super cool. It doesn't do anything else other than that, except look super awesome. But yeah, I have it already disconnected. It's on full display. Undercarriage is done. Let me get this guy out of the case and put my greasy fingerprints all over it. Yeah, come here, big guy. This guy's heavy. Look at that color. Avocado green. I'm telling you, man, it's making a comeback. Let's get that hood open wider. I don't even know what I'm looking at down there. Those are some headers, or not, or those are intake runners, but I don't know what that is. Very nice. And in case you're wondering what I'm talking about last year's Christmas one, here it is right now. The Power Wagon from last year, High Country Tree Service. Look at that Power Wagon stance. And underneath, I have some tacky, sticky stuff to hold the wheels in place. But that's it right there. It's wacky, but I love it. Okay, guys, we're nearing the end of 2024. And here's one of the latest ones that was released. It's the 2022 Ford Mustang Shelby GT500 Code Red. This guy sold out really fast as well. Rightfully so, with an actuating hood, full display of the Mustang Shelby symbols. Yeah, this is a crazy, crazy car. And I'm sure it does crazy Mustang things too. So one of the last ones. Now, the very last one that came out for the Redline Club is one that you've probably already seen because I mentioned it earlier. And I'm just going to reuse the top of the box because it's the same damn car. The Pagani Huayra 2021 R, but in blue. It is what it is. I like it. It's a beautiful color. It's a little dirty, but it has carbon fiber on the hood and on the roof. And so in comparison to the other one, it was orange, I think. It's over there, back on display. And this is it. Pretty color. Nothing special. All right, I got some honorable mentions because they are part of 2024, but they weren't part of the Redline Club per se. And if I remember correctly, there's at least 4, maybe 5 of these that released. But these are the store exclusive ones where you have to spend $20 at, let's say, a Kroger or at a Dollar General or whatever. Well, the ones that I could get, I believe I said there's 4. I could only get 2 out of those. And here they are right here. The very first one is the Porsche 356 Outlaw. This one here is from a Kroger exclusive. And it was $20. And this, you know what sucks about this is that I bought $40 worth so I could get 2. Hot Wheels acknowledged that I wanted 2. They shipped 2. I never got the second one. And I never followed up. But I got this one. I really wanted to open this. Because it's a 356. I mean, come on. And it's an Outlaw. If you don't know what an Outlaw is, it's basically anybody who made modifications to these cars was sort of an outlaw. I mean, it was a taboo. You really didn't do it unless you were racing it. I think Magnus Walker is probably one of the most famous outlaws. He does a lot of this. All right, so the last one on the list is this one. The 1970 Ford Escort RS 1600. Same color, same livery. You can see it says number 6 right there. So maybe it is 6, maybe 7. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below how many they made of these. Because, like I said, I can't get all of them. Because I don't have some of the stores here in South Texas. Well, all right. There you go, folks. That's just about it for 2024. There's not any more that's going to be shipping, I don't think, except for that Skyline. I'll probably do a short little video on that. If not, I'll save it for 2025. Keep your eye out for more videos like this. I'm certainly going to be doing more reviews of display cases, and I'm going to be doing less reviews on Hot Wheels because there really isn't a big demand for that, believe it or not. Most people just want to collect them and then sell them. But it is what it is. So with that, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and the collection is closed.